Welcome back to SnowRunner, guys, and today I am very excited to be showing you the Spun Soleil 5 by Red on console for the very first time. Now, as of the day of recording this video, this mod is now available on the console mod browser on both Xbox and PlayStation, and in order to find it, all you have to do is either sort by latest updates, or if you're watching this video sometime later on down the road, you can search by any of the terms in that mod's title. Now, what's really interesting about this vehicle is that it has been a long journey for it to get to consoles. There's been a lot of back and forth between the creator and the developers for this mod to actually finally reach a console-ready state. So we're going to go ahead and buy it. We're going to do a very quick build on it, and then we're going to take it out for a trail ride here on TNB Trails, which I felt was a very fitting way to welcome this vehicle to consoles. And really, it's extremely exciting because what this vehicle does is it brings forward that MudRunner mod feel into SnowRunner, but it does a lot more than that. It takes the idea of a project truck, a backyard project truck, and brings it into, and it's a realistic project truck at that, and it brings it into all of the console mod browsers of really everyone that plays SnowRunner. So whether you want a realistic trail riding vehicle, or if you want a really good campaign scout, this applies to both of those scenarios. So let's do a quick build. Now, engine-wise, you got one option, 454 big block. Gearbox wise, you have the default, and then you have the manual buzz tuned. That's kind of if you want a simulated manual transmission. Suspension wise, you have a damaged suspension and a no damage suspension. They both perform basically the same, but this one obviously cannot take any damage, and that all depends on whether or not you want a vanilla game experience or not. Now, this is going to be your tire selection. Now, here's the interesting thing about the tire selection. They're all 37s, but you have a really, really big range of compounds. You have actually a huge range of compounds, and actually a lot of you guys should recognize almost all, if not all, of these compounds from their respective counterparts in real life. You also have some studded tires if you plan on using this vehicle in a snowy or icy environment. So let's actually go with, I really like the pit bulls, and I'm also a big fan of these trail grapplers, but I'm also a big fan of these BFGs. Let's go with the BFGs and see how they do. Now, winch-wise, we're going to do the Autonomous Scout Extended. That's what it actually came with by default. Snorkel-wise, we're going to do a Tall Mushroom Snorkel, and let's see. So CB regular antenna, let's say CB spring base antenna, tow hitch, so if you really wanted to tow trailers, you could. We also have no hitch right now, and definitely going to keep the rock sliders, and the tools will definitely help us out when we get stuck out in the middle of nowhere and we need to fix it. So visuals wise, let's see, black grill or chrome grill, that choice is up to you. Rooftop wise, you've got some beacons and fog lights or some roof fogs. I mean, again, that's one of those personal preference things. Now we've got a bumper with a light bar or a bumper with a winch. I'm going to go with the bumper with the winch for this one. And wheels wise, we have a few different options. Let's see what they're, ooh, I really like the old school bead locks. Let's see. Oh, those look really good as well. I think I'm going to go with these old school bead locks, though. Now, paint-wise, you can pretty much paint it literally whatever color you want, and the nice thing is the textures are done in such a way that all of the colors look good. Like, none of the colors look like they were an afterthought. All of the colors on this rig really do a great job of doing the rig justice, in my opinion. I do like this really dark red. I think the dark red definitely suits it, but I also think that this sort of olive green suits it as well. And honestly, the orange does as well. Like, they all do a really good job of suiting this rig, and not only suiting it, but really accenting the style of it. So I think I'm going to go with this orange, this kind of deeper orange. And we are definitely going to throw beans on the dash and then head out to the trails. Now, I didn't want to spend too much time in the garage with this thing because obviously the reason why I'm so excited to have it here on consoles is so I can drive it and actually be able to use it in multiplayer with friends that really only have access to the game on console. So let's go ahead and fire it up and take it for a drive. It sounds really, really good, too. It sounds awesome. Now, those of you that enjoy a more realistic gameplay experience are definitely going to appreciate the interior view on this truck. Now, if you're somebody that spends a lot of time in interior view or maybe plays with the HUD off, that's going to be a huge advantage for you because, as you can see, the gauges work. And not only do the gauges work, but the steering wheel moves as it should. It moves at least as close to a vanilla truck as it can, but obviously this vehicle is going to have a lot more off-road potential and a lot more off-road capability than a vanilla vehicle, especially in terms of suspension flexibility and rock crawling capability as well. So let's go back into the exterior cam now. God, TNB Trails looks amazing on the Xbox Series X. It really does show that some of the mod maps that take forever to make, or even the ones that are in kind of a state of being an ongoing work in progress, it really does go to show that a lot of these maps are just absolutely beautiful. Now, I know that this trail has been used for a long time as sort of our initial testing trail, but the reason why is because it has just about everything you might want in terms of testing out a vehicle. And not only that, but it also has a gradual buildup in difficulty. Now, I haven't taken it out of automatic mode yet because it's been honestly really good so far. I haven't even really had to think about the lockers, and if you want to go a little bit faster, all you got to do is bump the clutch and you're good to go. Let's ease it on down, and we really don't have to slow down just yet. I mean, this section of the trail is very easily just kind of rollable at whatever speed you'd like. We're going kind of slow, but certainly we could be going slower. Now, oh, case in point, we almost drove off the edge, but that's fine. Don't worry about it. Let's make our way just a little bit further up the trail. We'll get a little bit of a look at this gorgeous view as well. If you haven't played this map yet, or if you're just getting into SnowRunner and you want to check out a map that will absolutely blow your mind and will have you exploring for hours, TNB Trails is the place to go. Come on, there we go. I mean, look at that climb. Look at that grade. I mean, it is just clawing at the ground, clawing at the terrain, spinning a little bit, but I mean, I wouldn't blame it, that's for sure. God, look at that view. That is so gorgeous. And really, at the end of the day, I feel like this is one of those maps that the developers would look at and be like, we could do something like that. You know, because at the end of the day, or like at the very least, I feel like it could inspire a campaign region in the future, because this view where you can look out over the village, I think is one of the most iconic views in SnowRunner map creation. Let's throw the lockers on for a slow, smooth oh boy. I was gonna say a slow, smooth descent, but one of the main reasons I locked it on is because I wanted to be able to get into the gas and get out of trouble if I had to, and thankfully we were able to, because that was almost really bad. These tires do awesome in the mud, though. They definitely don't have any issues with mud grip, that is for sure. Come on, find a little bit of extra grip there. Just a little bit extra. Not bad at all. Now, once again, those of you that enjoy see right there, that kind of suspension flex and that kind of suspension movement, that's what you're getting with a truck like this. Not only is that what you're getting, but you're getting the experience that has gone into the mod creators' development experience over the course of making MudRunner mods and now SnowRunner mods, and really just this is kind of a culmination of all the time he has spent tuning these suspensions to perform realistically on the trail. Just a little bit further. Whoa! Not bad. Dropping it right back off again. Honestly, it is such an easy vehicle to drive. And one of the interesting things about it is that it's one of those rigs where it's not really going to, like, if you get a climb wrong, you're definitely gonna know, but it's also gonna tell you ahead of time. It's not gonna just like snap on you and just roll over. It's gonna warn you. I mean, it's gonna give you a warning like, hey, you probably shouldn't be doing what you're doing. And, you know, kind of, it's like, if you don't listen to it, that's up to you. Now, I am going to bypass that obstacle on the left because there's a hill climb just ahead that is going to be a really good way to explore the capabilities of this truck and also demonstrate those capabilities. Now, this is the section that I was talking about earlier where the trail starts to build up in difficulty. So you'll notice the rocks start to get a little bit more closely grouped together, and then a little bit later on, there's a genuine, like, steep hill climb, and that's not the hill climb I was talking about. The hill climb I was talking about should be just down the way, and it should be right up ahead. I think it is. Yeah, it's right down the trail. It's a little bit further ahead than I thought it was. Had to check the map because this trail, ironically, as many times as I've driven this trail, I don't always remember where I'm going. Let's put the lockers on because sometimes the mud combined with the distribution rocks can be a little bit tricky to get through, and the game can also be just a little bit, like, iffy about it. But man, I love just looking at this thing sometimes. It's definitely a beautiful representation of what a build like this could look like. And not only what a build like this could look like, but I think it speaks to that real-world off-roader that wants to build a truck that is strong enough to handle the trails, but is also simple enough and basic enough that it can be repaired easily and also be driven to and from the trails. And I think this really does a great job of bringing all of those aspects together. Let's put it into low plus, and now we've got a genuine hill climb to attempt, so let's see what we can do. We're already at quite the angle, aren't we? Here we go. I'm at about half throttle in low plus. First set of obstacles, it didn't do too bad at all. I'm gonna let it roll backwards just a tad. Back it up. Gonna try and adjust where the front axle is. This is where that realistic crawling dynamic of it comes in. Find some grip at the front axle. Add a little bit more wheel speed, and we should have it. Yep, there it is. Not bad, dude. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Now, is this the most realistic trail rider on consoles or the most realistic trail riding vehicle on consoles? I'm not sure. That's completely and totally up to you guys and completely up to your personal preference on what you kind of perceive as a realistically tuned experience. For one, I definitely think that it is one of the most realistically performing vehicles on console so far, and I would definitely like to hear your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below on what you think of this vehicle in terms of its performance and also in comparison to some of the other realism-based trail riding vehicles on the console mod browser. Let's ease it a little bit further along. I do want to see if I can attempt this rock bridge. This rock bridge is sketchy. It's super sketchy, especially in something like this because you have to drive at an angle and then you have to back up and recenter without flipping over and then drive up the rock bridge itself. Here we go. Woo, that is an angle. That's actually a super gnarly angle. Oh, not bad. It's working it. I've never actually attempted this rock bridge with this truck before. I definitely think low is going to be better here, but I might need the extra bump of low plus, and if I don't have that, I could be in some trouble. Come on. Come. Ooh. Dude, I had to get quiet for a second there because I was really worried about that. That was super close. As long as you're really deliberate and careful with where you place the tires, you'll be fine, but it certainly takes some getting used to. All right, let's ease it down and over. Oh, God. Ooh, that's really close. That is super gnarly. Can it do this drop? It should be able to. Almost there. Almost there. That's steep, but it could do it. Dude, this actually did an amazing job going across the rock bridge. And I think it did an amazing job through all of those obstacles. And at the end of the day, this is definitely one of my personal favorite realistic trail riding vehicles to drop on the console mod browser yet. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and enjoyed this look of the Slay 5 on consoles, running on consoles. Finally, I am so excited that it's finally here. And if you're new to the channel and you would like to see more, make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn those notifications on, and I will see y'all next time.